Hey, Lisa. I'm good. How are you? Wow, you did have a good weekend. Good job. I'm glad you came to this area. Hey, Anthony. Hi, Caitlin. We're gonna give it a couple more minutes. I'll be right back. Lisa, Uber deactivated your account? What the heck happened? Okay, guys, we're gonna give it 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. Cheers, everybody. This is, I think, my third live. I don't do them very often. Lisa, that is so true. Lives you don't have to. I feel like my day is editing. Okay, so it's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna get started, I'm going to say a quick hello to everybody. So, sorry, there's feedback on my phone. I forgot it was on. The volume was up. So, I'm going to say a quick hi to everybody. So, I'm going to go into my topic of tonight, and I was trying to think of something I can really talk to you guys that I'm passionate about, and that's multi-apping. So I'm going to kind of give you my thoughts and opinions and why I like multi-apping so much, and then at the end I will take any questions that you guys have. If there's no questions, we'll end the live. If there's questions, we'll keep going, and I'll answer as many questions as I possibly can for you. Hold on for 1 second, guys. Okay, so let's go through. So first of all, hello everybody, happy Tuesday. I took the day off today, so I'm here live. Usually I'm working at this time, so it's actually kind of nice to be here with you guys. Okay, so I already said hi Lisa, hi Caitlin, hi Anthony, hi Claudia. Sandra's got game, hello, Tamika, hi Kevin, and hey Nadish Brown. So nice to see everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight to answer. Hey Roy will be Roy. Oh, right, Lisa, thank you so much. So not necessary, but much appreciated. Thank you so much. So this is my third live. Lisa asked me if this was my first. This is my third live. I'll be honest, I don't think I'm really good at lives, which is why I usually don't do them too often. So it might be a little all over the place, but we'll get through it, and hopefully I'm going to give you some knowledge tonight on multi-apping. And like I said, I will then take any questions that you guys have for me. So multi-apping, I am so passionate about it because if you're new to my channel, I am a full-time multi-apper. I do this 40 plus hours a week, and I started out doing just DoorDash, and then I got Uber and was just doing Uber, and I really didn't know much about multi-apping. And then there was like this thing called YouTube and I learned a lot of stuff from YouTube. But that's how I really learned what multi-apping was, and that's how I really got into multi-apping. And I was making, I'll say like $16 to $20 an hour, and I was doing this part-time when I first started out. And then I started making like $25 an hour, and then I really started to really get into it and start to know my area and my restaurants, and now I'm doing $25 to $30 an hour, and that's why I am so passionate about multi-apper. And I get a lot of comments sometimes is I get anxiety over multi-apping, or I'm scared to do multi-apping, and I always say I'm a very simple multi-apper. I take it to literally to the simplest forms, and I kind of run with it. So what do I mean by that is I'm literally the multi-apper that I'll turn everything on. And by the way, I have Uber Eats, I have DoorDash, I have Grubhub. Those are the 3 apps that I mainly work, and I'll turn every single one of them on. Whatever the best offer is, I will take it, and then if it's DoorDash, I'll put Uber Eats on, I'll turn them off, or I'll turn off Grubhub. If it is the other way around, I'll pause DoorDash and turn the other ones off as well. So I literally work one app at a time, so that way there's no stress, there's no anxiety. And I can focus right on the customer. And bonus, if it's a stacked order, I love stacked orders. They really make me a lot of money in some cases, but you have to be kind of choosy on stacked orders, which I can go into at a different time. But multi-apping to me is a very simple process, and to me, the more apps you get, the better. And it's just basically the more opportunity and the more earning potential and the more earning power that you really have to be successful at getting more orders. And that's really, to me, what multi-apping is really all about. And by multi-apping, to me, it has completely increased my income, over from when I started to where I am now. And now I just added Grubhub to my mix probably about 2 months ago now, so that's even more, opportunities for me to really grab the orders that I really want to do. And you can then, if you have multiple offers coming in, you can then be choosy and not take I call them the crap orders, but you don't take the crap orders because you have other forms of apps coming in at the same time. So it also gives you more opportunities to choose that are right for you and right for your area. I always say, and I'm a firm preacher on this, that if you know your area, know your market, and my area completely might be different from your area, but the concepts are the same. The principles are the same. It just might mean that my area might be busier than your area, or vice versa. Hey, you might have a busier area than I currently have, and that would be fantastic. Hold on, let me just take a sip of a drink real quick. Okay. So as you know, like I said, I am full-time. I have more than now 6,000 deliveries under my belt. I still can't believe it's that much. Like when like you kind of keep on going, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I have that many deliveries. And that's like the case the other day. Someone had asked me, and I wish it was rum and Coke. It's just Coke. Coke without the rum. But I wish it was rum and Coke. But anyway, someone had asked me the other day how many, and I looked it up, and I'm like, wow, I have that many deliveries. When did that happen? But then when you're doing 120 deliveries plus a week, you're like, oh yeah, that's how it happened. But anyway, now that I digressed from that. So I personally make the most amount of money and the most amount of my time by multi-apping. To me, it also saves on my time and how much time I'm like out there. I see some people do 10, 12 hours a day, and obviously hopefully you guys know, like I'm still a mom. The audio is low. Okay, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. Is that better, guys? Give me a thumbs up if that's better. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Just thumbs me up if that's better audio. So going back to multi-apping, so my time that I have, so if you guys don't know, I work from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. I go home at 2 p.m. Okay, thanks, Thomas. I go home at 2 p.m. I spend time with my family from like 2 to 5. I even have dinner with my family every single night. And then I go back out and do 5 to 10 o'clock. So even though I work, 8 hours a day, it's very broken up, but I feel like I make the most out of my day in order to maximize my time. And by multi-apping and having more choices, I feel like I'm getting more quality orders and I'm getting more quality time when I'm out there. And I feel like I'm like, okay, in the afternoon, I'm like, okay, I have 3 hours to make. And I always try in my afternoon, my goal is to try to get as close to $100 as I can before I go home for the afternoon, before I even start my nighttime shift, because it makes my nighttime shift that much more easier to get to my goal of $200 a day. So those are kind of the hours that I work, but multi-apping, I hate to say, to me, it's very good on time management and the time that you're out in the world. But I will say this, and I am a firm believer, and when I say I'm a simple multi-apper, I really truly believe that, taking one order at a time is the way to go. And what I mean by that is, this comes from a place of my heart, because I never want to see anybody get deactivated. And I know people do this, and if you're doing it, keep doing it because it's working for you. I'm not a big believer in taking multiple offers from multiple apps at the same time just because of the risk of deactivation. And that's just my philosophy. This is my bread and butter. This is my full-time job. So I personally don't take the risk in taking on multiple offers. And I personally have known people who have been deactivated because they are multi-apping with multiple apps at the same time. So I'm always so telling everybody just be super cautious, just because I personally have known people who have gotten deactivated. In fact, I actually had a girlfriend of mine the other week who like literally called me and was like hysterically crying because she does Uber Eats and DoorDash. She is on a wait list just like I was with Grubhub, but she got deactivated from Uber, and the only thing she can think of is she got an offer for DoorDash for a restaurant, and then also in the same complex there was another restaurant, and she picked up an order for DoorDash, and literally restaurants were almost side by side with each other. The drop-offs were literally like streets away from each other. So she scooped it up. It was really good money. She's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make money. And then a week later she was deactivated. And to me that's scary. Like this is my livelihood, and I personally I don't ever want to risk my livelihood being affected. Hi Sarah. So I will say this, that please just be cautious if you're multi-apping and you decide to take multiple offers at the same time. To me it's just too risky, and I personally do not risk it my personal self. And like I said, it comes out of a place of love and through my heart, because I never want to see something bad happen to somebody else. So that would just be my only like downfall of multi-apping, and why I say I'm a simple multi-apper. That's the reason why I say a simple multi-apper, because I take one order at a time. And then, sorry, I have my notes, so I'm kind of going through my notes at the same time as well. Also, that's another thing. So I learned this last week, and this is kind of, I don't know if it's scary and not scary. So last week a customer had changed their address, and I had to call Uber to let them know, because you get compensated. If you don't know that, you get compensated if the customer changes their address and you're willing to go to the address. And this one was only like a mile away, so I'm like, why not? So I called Uber Eats and let them know I have to go to this new address, and they said, well, we're going to give you $4, but we can't give you your $4 until we can track your GPS that we know you went to the new address of the customer. And I'm like, wow, they actually track our GPS. So then it got me thinking, well, if they're tracking our GPS just going to customers' houses, they do have ways of tracking it as well. So that was kind of like an I never, you think in the back of your head, I'm like, do they really track our GPS? And that was like proof. And then when I had called back and said I just delivered the order, they're like, hold on, let me pull up your account and let me make sure you were at the address. I'm like, oh, hot darn. They do track your GPS. So just word-wise, I did not know that. I was always aware of it, but I'm like, wow, they really do track your GPS. But not only that, but I also had another friend of mine locally that a customer actually called and called her out on her not going towards the customer's house, because she also was multi-apping and was taking multiple offers, and she luckily talked her way out of it. But customers do watch, and I have to say, I am a DoorDash customer when I order. I love Uber Eats, that's my favorite app to work, but I really like ordering from DoorDash. So I'm one of those customers that I feel like I stalk the driver until they get to my house. And mainly it's because I want to make sure I pick up the order, because I always do leave at the door. I want to make sure I pick up the food when it arrives after they pick it up. But I feel like I'm one of those stalkers. But I'm thinking, if I'm one of those stalkers, how many other customers are stalking our lives by tracking us every moment that we're out there? So that would just be my word of wise. And that's another thing, guys. We all, I'm telling you, I'm a huge stalker. I'm one of those people. So now, and that's another thing, I feel especially with DoorDash, I feel as though you breathe the wrong way and they're like, nope, she's activated. I feel like they're so nope, they're going to deactivate you. Nope, they're going to deactivate you. And I feel like they're just waiting for the opportunity to deactivate because they have all these people waiting to get on their platform. Let's deactivate them and get someone else new who doesn't know the system and who will take those $2.75 orders. And that's what new people do. They take the orders that we don't take because they're crap. So, okay, now that I digressed on that, let's get back to multi-apping. So, multi-apping for me, it's, you know, I have to say this past week, if anybody who worked the freaking DoorDash glitch, oh, that was super frustrating. I only did one. First of all, I think it was my day off, and I'm like, oh, let me go out for a couple of hours just to see what I can do. I took one DoorDash order. I turned it off because there was something wacky going on, and I did not stop getting orders after I turned it off. I'm like, how the heck are, like, these people are tech companies and they can't freaking figure out their own app? It just boggles my brain. But by multi-apping, I just completely turned off DoorDash. I ignored DoorDash, and I went on to Uber Eats and Grubhub, and I didn't miss a beat. I just kind of kept on going. And to me, like, that's one of the big things about multi-apping is, you know, I think a couple weeks ago, Uber Eats glitch with those acceptance screens, and that was wacky all in itself. So I feel like there's always something going on when, you know, whenever there's a glitch in the system, like, you have other means to keep on going and not even look back and still have a way of making your goals for the day. That's another thing. Multi-apping keeps, like, a stream of income coming in. Like, there's always an order. They might be crap orders, but there's always some kind of orders coming in as well. And then I think I always say this, but I will say this: sign up for as many apps as possible, just because, like, that's your opportunities. Hold on, I'm gonna take a step of drink. I feel like I'm talking too much, so hold on for a second. I added a couple more wrenches. Sandra, I do need rum in this. Usually on my nights off, I have a fantastic glass of wine. It's like the one night a week I actually sip on some wine. It's fantastic. I swear, the wine just goes, it just nice and relaxes you, and sometimes you just need it. I think my last live, I was actually drinking a glass of wine. I'm like, why didn't I do this time? Ooh, what's Key West rum? I've never had Key West rum. What days are you off? So I am usually off on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, mostly Tuesdays, unless I have, like, something going on Wednesdays. Okay, sorry. Now that I digress from multi-apping, so usually also, if you ever see me drinking in my videos, it's usually Coke or Dr. Pepper. Those are usually my two choices. I don't drink coffee, and it's so weird because I come from my retail background and everybody was a coffee drinker and they couldn't understand why I don't drink coffee. I just have never gotten into coffee. I don't know why, but I'm a soda girl. That's my caffeine. Ooh, spiced rum sounds so good. Okay, so multi-apping. So I will say this, and I always say this: sign up for as many apps as you possibly can, even if it's like an app that you think you're not going to use. You always have something to fall back on. I actually, you guys, I mean, I think I've talked about this before, but, like, I have Instacart. I've never used Instacart. It's just not my cup of tea, I'll be honest. Like, and I always say this, I hate grocery shopping for myself, never along somebody else's grocery shopping. So, but I have it in my mix just as a backup plan, and God forbid I get deactivated from one of these platforms. Like, I have another stream of income coming in. I also signed up for Skipcart, and I never used that either, but I just got an email a couple of weeks ago that it was discontinued from my area, so I guess I can't use it anymore. So there goes that. But it actually sounded pretty cool. It was actually almost like a like a catering service for companies, and you would go and pick up catering orders, but the only thing is you have to go into their companies and set it up for them. But supposedly the pay was actually pretty well, but discontinued it from my area. So that was another one I had in my mix, but I just deleted the apps because it is not available anymore. But anyway, sign up for as many apps as you possibly can. I know people use Corner Shop. I do not have that in my area, so I can't sign up for that. But I always say, you never know what's going to work in my area and then work in your area. But hey, sign up for all of them. You never know what's going to be more profitable in your area. And then let's talk about the apps in themselves. I said this a couple of days ago, and I always say this: know your apps and know the patterns of your apps and when they're busy, when they're not busy. And a lot of this is going to be trial and error, unfortunately, until you really get to know your area. But for my area, I know that Uber Eats is usually dead during the day unless there's like a run for some reason, but it's a very rare occasion. But DoorDash is usually like my afternoon app, and then Uber Eats usually gets like jamming like around like 7 to 9, sometimes 10 at night. And then Grubhub for me, like it's okay in my area, but it's, I feel like it fills in the gaps of when Uber Eats and DoorDash doesn't kind of keep going. And that, to me, that's Grubhub. I listened to you guys, and you guys were all like, Grubhub, yay! And Grubhub in my areas is like, it's okay. Like, I like it. And just so you know I get a lot of questions on this every single time I bring up Grubhub. I have an iPhone. There are no miles that are showing up for iPhones yet. So unless I change my phone to an Android, I'm not going to be able to see miles until they change it onto iPhones. So unfortunately, I have to keep guessing. The good thing is I know my area really well, and I usually can guess. And maybe I'm a dork, but I kind of have fun guessing miles and how close I can get to the miles. And this is how boredom sets in. I usually try to guess. I'm like, okay, is this 4 miles, 5 miles? And then if I'm right, I'm like, yes, I'm right. I got it right. I do know my area. But that's just me being a little bit on the nutty side, but it's all good. I'll be nutty for once in a while. Yeah, I don't know much about Instacart in my area, but from what I know, from what I know from other people who do it, it's not a very good app in my area. That's another reason why I really don't do Instacart in my area as well. But I will say I'm very grateful, and I'm really happy that I added Grubhub into my mix, because I will say this: first of all, what you see is what you get. Like, there's no hidden tips anywhere with Grubhub. Your offer is your offer, then that's what you're getting. So I guess that's a good thing. You can never complain about hidden tips. That's first thing. But their quality orders, I don't think I've ever gotten an order under $8 since I started on Grubhubs. Grubhubs, that's good English. Grubhub. I will say this though, it's kind of funny, but last week I went in with a different mindset last week, as I really am trying to embrace Grubhub as much as I possibly can. But I came in with the mindset that whatever offer is the best offer, whether it's Uber Eats, DoorDash, or Grubhub, I'm going to take it. And that's kind of what I went into the mindset of last weekend. Granted, last week I had Hurricane Ida in my area. I had a flat tire in my with my car, so like I had a whole bunch of things going against me, but that's besides the point. But that was kind of my strategy going into last week, and I think it like really jumpstart my week. But I felt, and this is horrible to say, but not horrible to say, like I almost felt like I was waiting for like Uber Eats and Grubhub orders, just because there are so much bigger than the $2.75 DoorDash orders that you get. Believe me, I get a crap ton of $2.75 orders, especially working Labor Day. I'm like, what is it? What is everybody not tipping on the holiday? Not that I had a bad day yesterday, because I sold the $200 yesterday, but it just wasn't what I was expecting yesterday. I was so hyped up for that quest, and wah, wah. So anyway, and So also when I'm multi-apping, just so you guys know, if I'm getting multiple offers in at the same time, the first thing I look at, most people at look at the restaurant and then the dollar amount. I personally look at the time it's going to take me to complete the offer, and then the restaurant, and then the dollar amount, and so on and so forth. Because to me, timing, and I think I did a video on this maybe a week or so ago, that to me the timing is really key, because I would rather take a 10-minute order or 15-minute order opposed to like a 25 or 30-minute offer if the money is right for both ends. So I think timing is really key, especially when you're multi-apping, and especially if you're using how many orders you get per hour as a gauge on how you're accomplishing your goal. So guys, now I've talked for a full half hour. Those are like my multi-apping strategies. So I am going to quickly go through some of the comments. If you have any questions, now is the time to start asking them, but I'm going to go through some of the comments because I feel like I've rattled on for a really long time. So let's kind of go through some of this. Yeah, stacked orders are good when they come in at the same time. Hate's a strong word. I just like it when you get an order and then like a minute later, they're like, yeah, I'm going to add on a $10 order too. And you're like, darn it, I was all hyped up to just do that one order. But if the money's good, hey, always say, if the price is right, I'll do whatever it needs to do for a price is right. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Arturo. Yeah, the quest yesterday I'm sorry, it sucked for me. Not in my area, it just really sucked. I don't know what else to say. I was so excited in Friday's video, and I'm like, a quest. I literally haven't had a quest since March. I think that was the last quest I received from Uber Eats, and I was so freaking excited. I'm like, I'm gonna rock this quest. I'm gonna get those 20 orders. I got one order last night. Ugh, so freaking disappointed. I'm gonna have to look into that rum and coke, by the way. Sounds good to me. Today was very slow, Claudia says. Yeah, that's usually why I take Tuesdays off. Hey Cam, I signed up for Grubhub. Ooh, congratulations. I see that you get $20 orders for one trip. Sometimes you do. Usually my Grubhub orders in my area. So just so you know, in order to, and if anybody knows anything different than I do, because I just started with Grubhub, but in order to multi-app with Grubhub, you can't schedule blocks. You have to kind of toggle on you're available and not available. So supposedly, at least from what I've heard in my area, you get better offers if you're scheduled on a block than if you're not, and usually I'm toggling on and off. So, but usually my orders are anywhere from like 10 to, I'll say like $18. I think I've gotten a couple of them. Oh, hey Hannibal, how are you? Hannibal's in the house. Oh. So, yeah, that's Grubhub for me. But I wish you best of luck. Were you on a waiting list at all? Because mine was a year and a freaking half. Oh, Grubhub. Audio. Will I do grocery soon? I'll be honest, probably not anytime soon. I'll be completely honest with you. And like I said, grocery for me is just really, I'll be honest, when I do my own grocery shopping, I don't know whether it's pure laziness or I just don't really have time, because I literally feel like my day is jam-packed from the time I wake up to the time I go home, and I am up until 1 o'clock every morning editing videos for you guys, so it's jam-packed. But I usually do Walmart grocery pickup for my area, and granted, Walmart is like 8 miles to 10 miles away from my house, but I usually do the grocery pickup once a week just because I hate grocery shopping, I'll be completely honest. So for me to do it, yeah, I'll be honest, like I would have to be deactivated from somewhere in order for me to do Instacart, to be completely honest. Dylan, you're from Australia? Holy, thank you so much for joining me tonight. going off topic, but thank you. Oh, thank you. That's really sweet of you. Someone just said that tonight in Mexico. Okay. Sarah, hi. Yes, I gave Lisa wrench power. Roy, I gave you wrench power too. Oh, I can do this too. I'm so pissed at DoorDash that almost every order is stacked now with one okay and one bad order. Yeah, that's really annoying, I have to tell you. I will say, the other day, hi Joe, the other day, I think I showed it in my video, I got a $7.50 freaking stacked order. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, what, who in their right mind? Aw, thank you, Thomas, so much. So appreciated, but not necessary. Thank you so much. You're funny. So, I'm like, if some of these stuff, like, I'm telling you, like, some of these orders, I just look, and especially DoorDash, like, I shake my head every single day because I want to know who in their right mind would actually take these orders. Like, even if you're new, even if you have like a half a brain on your head, like, who would take some of these orders? I'm just saying, like, it just baffles my brain sometimes. Sorry, I'm just going through stuff, guys. Uber is great and tough because you can pay extra and not have your order stacked. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Uber. I'm telling you, Uber is rocking. It's my app. I'm telling you, I really do. I like the fact that, for a couple things, I like the fact that Uber Eats, the customer has up to an hour to add more tips onto you. That's first thing. Granted, they have an hour to take away tips too, which is not such a good thing because freaking I got tip baited last week. I'm still bitter about that, but that's another story for another day. Okay. However, so Uber Eats, they high tips over $8, and hopefully you guys know this. If you don't know this, I'll share this information with you. If you deliver an Uber Eats order and say it's a $10 order and your base pay comes back as $2 and you know the tip is exactly $8 exactly, that's usually a sign that there is a hidden tip in there for Uber. Just saying, hopefully if you knew that, great. If you didn't, hey, I just taught you something new tonight. But usually Uber Eats hides tips over $8. But I feel like even if they hide their tips over $8, like, their quality, like, you'll do a $10 order. Like, I'll do a $10 order any day of the week as long as the miles are good. I'll do it any day of the week. Just sign me up and I'll take it. But I think that's the reason why I usually gravitate towards Uber orders, because to me the opportunity of gaining more money and earning more money is the key for Uber. When you decline, this is a good question. When you decline DoorDash orders, what option do you choose? I wish I can choose all of them. To be completely honest with you, but no, all jokes put aside, usually it's either distance is too long or order is too short. What is it? The order is too small. Is that what the other one is? There's sometimes I put I don't want to go to the restaurant, because I'll be honest, I don't want to go to the restaurant because there are a lot of restaurants on my no list. As much as there are a lot of good ones, there are a lot of restaurants on my no list. I totally need rum in that, I'm telling you. And I'm going to have to try that Key West rum. So my first day of doing DoorDash, I was not getting good orders, and then a representative called me to ask me if I was taking the last order. It was creepy. You know, that is so creepy. So this has happened to me a couple of times, and also beware. So there's times where I'm on pause, and you get sometimes like orders that come through even though you're on pause, and a couple of times, DoorDash will call you and say, hey, I have $1 to offer you for the next order if you choose to take it. And you're like, I'm on pause. Oh, and that's frustrating. But thank you, Texas girl, for asking, gal, sorry, for asking that question. What days are you off? I think I answered that already. I usually take off almost every Tuesday or Wednesday, but I will say, however, I am not a TV person, and I probably drives my husband crazy, but I'm very antsy when I'm home. So a lot of times I'll be like, I'm going out for an hour, bye. And I'll like go out for an hour just to challenge myself and see how much I can do in an hour, but I'm kind of crazy like that. So, but hey, it gets me out of the house for an hour. I'm pretty sure my family's like, please go for an hour. Okay. Oh, you're in the freehold area. DoorDash has gotten outrageously worse in the past couple months. Oh, DoorDash has gotten worse in the past couple months. A, the orders have been getting worse. B, there hasn't been as plentiful DoorDash orders. But I will say Freehold is only 25 minutes away from me. So, hey, come on down. You might actually learn a new area. You might actually benefit from learning a new area and coming down my way. And I will say this, even if you come, if you're still, if you're in like closer to Colts Neck Freehold, if you come into like the Lincroft area, which is like it's Freehold, Colts Neck, and then Lincroft, you can always get a couple of restaurants in there and might actually deliver to Colts Neck and like get you closer to Freehold as well. Just FYI. Yeah, I agree with you. DoorDash has the balls to drop the base pay when everything went up. I think we're all super bitter about the base pay. And this is what gets me about the base pay. Because I do take some longer distance. I'm not shy from taking longer distance orders. I'm not shying away by any means. If the money's right, I'll take a long distance order. But I did a video that the day that, or a couple days after they sent that letter out, I think it was like a 6-mile order, and I think they said it was supposed to be $4.50 if you did like blank amount of miles, and gosh darn it, they freaking only paid me $3.50. I'm like, the lying, I can't curse on here, but the lying, you know what? I'm like, so not only are you taking money away from our $3 now, $2.75. Some areas is $2.25. Now you're lying about longer distances too. Like, oh, it's so freaking frustrating. Mine is fine. Yes, mine is definitely fine. Also, while you guys are waiting on me going through the comments, give this live a thumbs up too, just saying. Instacart scares me. Yeah, it scares me too, don't worry. How come I don't get Quest on Uber Eats? From what I've heard from the grapevine is, and I started with Uber Eats a little over a year now, so I think I started summer of last year. They throw a lot of quests at new drivers, kind of like DoorDash does with the, go anytime, like you can just hit, dash now. I think they throw a lot of quests at new drivers, and then all of us old drivers at that point are like, they don't need quests. Mr. Flex is in the building. Oh, Mr. Flex, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And by the way, Mr. Flex, #1 hustler out there, thank you so much for joining me. I am in awe of what you do on a daily basis. I want to be you when I grow up, I'm just saying. In Tom's River, Uber Eats pays more than DoorDash. Good to know. So Tom's River is about 35-ish minutes, sometimes 40 minutes. I got one of my cars down in Tom's River at the Hyundai dealership. I like Tom's River. How did you guys make out with the hurricane this past? I didn't hear how you guys made out with the hurricane this past week. I know you guys normally flood, so I hope you guys are okay down there. How long did it take you to get on Grubhub? A year and a freaking half. That's how long it took me. A year and a freaking half. I've never heard of being on a wait list. I felt like it was like a secret society, like I was trying to be a part of. Like, I feel like Grubhub is like the creme de la creme. Like, it's a secret society that you have to like know somebody to get in. But I will say this, how I got in is I talking about stalking. I stalked literally the crap out of Grubhub. I'm pretty sure they like got sick and tired of hearing from me, and they were like, just get her on, just get her on. Like, I literally, you have to fill out a form to find out where you're at. So I filled out that form like 5 times a week. Legitimately, like 5. I think I like gave it a rest for like 2 days, and then they had enough nerve to put on Facebook, Grubhub is hiring, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I've been on the wait list for an hour for a year and a half, and you have enough nerve to do that? I'm like, oh, yeah. Year and a half, just saying. I'm not bitter about it at all. UDM tells me he says great offers on box with Grubhub. I was just actually saying today, when I first started Grubhub, they didn't put me in my correct area, and I've heard horror stories about changing your area, and I'm like, I just got on after a year and a half. How are they going to change me to a new area? And I heard that they put you back on a waiting list, so I was so afraid to do it. But the first block I actually did was in an area that was like 20 minutes from my house. I'm like, this is just too long. So I'm like, what do I have to lose? So they literally changed my area in 2 hours. I was shocked on how easy it was, and I haven't done a block schedule since then. So I want to actually try that soon, because it's usually an hour and a half to 2 hours. So actually, maybe on my day off next week, maybe I'll do that on my day off. I don't know. We'll see. Hi, Joe Gig. Love to see you live. Would be amazing to see more female gig tubers stream together for an interview. Ooh, that would be interesting to break the boys club. That's actually kind of funny. But hey, Lisa, do you want to do it with me? That'd be kind of fun. Sarah, are you still watching? We can do it together. I thought that was just spilling. Oh. What would you say is the toughest part about being a full-time gig worker, gig tuber? Time. And it's a good question. I start my day at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, because my daughter usually gets up around like 8ish. So I usually start by finishing up my videos from the night before anybody in my house even gets up, and then I get my family breakfast. I get my daughter ready. Usually mornings for my household is, she'll be in kindergarten next year. I can't believe she'll be in kindergarten next year. But usually mornings I try to keep to like her learning time, so it's almost like her form of school. So usually that's my morning until I go out at 11, and then I work from 11 to 2, and then I come home, and usually like 2 to 5 is my family time. So we'll go for like family walks, or we'll go to the park, or we'll do something fun with my family, and then I'll cook dinner at 4 o'clock, and then I'm out the door again at 5, and then I'll gig from 5 to 10. I come home, I grab something to eat, because usually I eat at 4 and I'm starving by the time I get home, and then I usually stay up until 1 o'clock editing videos, and then I start the day all over again. So to me, the toughest point, I'm always on a schedule. Like if the schedule deviates, I'm screwed. But any little thing can set it off, and then my whole entire day is kind of shot from there. But it's just really keeping up with the schedule and keeping up with my timing, and I just wish there were more hours in a day. Yeah, Mr. Flex, you dashed right the day after Ida hit. Your area got hit pretty hard, right? So my parents live in like the Somerville, Manville area, and that's where I grew up in. But I heard like you guys got hit really hard, and I was like super impressed. I was on your live, and I'm like, how is this guy out here already after the freaking hurricane? And I feel like everything's being washed away. So mad props to you, my friend. That's the only thing I can say. You are like the true hustle of all true hustle. I'm just saying. I don't like Uber because they don't let you Zoom. They do not let you Zoom. Life would be fantastic with Uber if they let you zoom in and out. Like it's hard to see in the map, and lucky for me from doing this now, like I kind of know cross streets and I know kind of reference areas where they are. And it helps me with apartments. Someone had asked me this, how do I know when apartments are or not? Like I know a lot of my apartment complexes just because I hate apartment complexes. So you kind of know the cross streets just because you hate them so much. And usually that's how I know when to not do apartment complexes and not do apartment complexes. But know your cross streets, and start memorizing. I have it up here. That's the only thing I can give advice on is just know it up here. Oh no, Sandra's got game. That's actually really funny. So she says, I'm sitting in Carrabba's and said, let me turn it on and see while I'm on my way home. Short story, I gave my food to the customer by accident. I hope the customer ordered something better than what you ordered. Just saying. And yes, apartment complexes are freaking the worst. Like I know there is an app for apartment complexes, and I downloaded the app and I can't remember what it was, but it really didn't show a lot of my apartment complexes around my area, so it didn't do very well for me. But there is an app, I forget what it's called, that shows apartment complexes, but my area, it didn't work out so well. But delivering with Ellen. Hi, Ellen. Joe, good question. Have you ever had your husband or daughter in the car while you were delivering? My daughter? No. I'll be honest, I can't even imagine taking my 4-year-old toddler. She has like an attention span of nothing. Like I don't even know how she's gonna go to school next year. She can't even sit through a movie, never long in the car for that long of a time. But I actually started out, when I first started DoorDashing, my husband actually came with me for my first couple of dashes, because I'll be honest, I had such anxiety and I was so nervous about doing it that he actually came with me the first couple of times until I felt comfortable doing it on my own, and then I kind of hit the ground running and kind of went from there. But yes, he's come with me. It was actually it was a good bonding experience, but it was a lot of fun. It was maybe we'll do it again in the near future. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was good for our downtown areas because he was allowed to like drop me off, and I would go in, grab it, and like he would be waiting for me, so I never had to park the car. That was definitely a good perk on it. That's the only thing I'm saying. I do love the name Rapping Grammy, by the way. William, I care way more about transparency than I do about pay state. I agree with you on that one. You know, if the world would be a fantastic place, if DoorDash would just be transparent with a lot of things, they're just not transparent with anything. They don't communicate with us. I was going to say a bad word, stuff goes down, and they communicate to the customer, but do you think they communicate to the drivers? And nope, nothing. But yes, I wish if they would be transparent, like all of the problems that DoorDash has with their drivers would be non-existent. Then we wouldn't have drama, and then we wouldn't have videos to create anymore, because there wouldn't be any drama to share with you guys on DoorDash. It would be kind of boring. Do you shop and deliver? I've seen you use the red card. I think I've done it a couple of times. Like maybe a couple times I'll do like a Walgreens or Rite Aid. I'll be honest, it has to be like 1 item, 2 items, maybe 4 items max. I'm not gonna, to me, getting out of the car, going into somewhere or shopping for somebody, and it's kind of I might as well just do Instacart if it's more than that. But I'll say, I'll always do something if the money is right. Money is always the key, the motivating factor of a lot of things I do. Instacart pays more than DoorDash. I'm pretty sure they do. It's just not my cup of tea. Grubhub took you 2 years to get on. See? I'm telling you, it's a secret society. Did you ever get Grubhub to fix your Zoom? Yes, thank God. It took them 2 hours. I was so nervous about doing it because I've heard horror stories about them going back on a wait list, and I'm like, I was just on a freaking wait list, and now you put me back on a wait list. But I filled out a form. I had to put where my home address was, which, by the way, why isn't it on their application to begin with so they know what zone to put you in? I'm just saying. Anyway, another topic for another day. They texted me within 30 minutes saying, is this information correct? And I said yes, and it was fixed in 2 hours. And I'm like, oh, it was that easy. Go figure. But my zone now, it's humongous. So my New Jersey peeps that are on here tonight, so it goes from Red Bank, it goes all the way through past Freehold, and I think all the way down past Point Pleasant, or no, it's further than Asbury. I think it was like Point, I don't know. It was really further south, but it's pretty big. Okay, Lisa, you're up for it, so maybe we can do that live soon. That'd be actually a lot of fun. I'm new to your channel. I was wondering if you're a full-time driver. Yes, I am a full-time driver. I do this full-time. I've been now full-time since last January-ish? February-ish? January. I think it was January I started full-time last year. I gave up my retail career, and I'm now doing this full-time. Best decision I've ever made. At least for me, it's the best decision I've ever made. I see my family more now than I ever have in the 4 years my daughter has been born. I'm actually an active mom. I felt like I was a part-time mom when I was working retail. Now I feel like I'm like an actual active mom. I know it sounds horrible, but it's true. Hey ATS, how are you? Thank you, Thomas. I can't be in the same league as Mr. Flex. I can try, but I don't think I'm in the same league as Mr. Flex. And yes, Mr. Flex, you only do one app. I'm telling you, I can't. Mad props to you, my friend. It's the only thing I keep saying. I think I would literally go bonkers if I just did DoorDash, so more power to you. I can't even, honestly, I watch you, every morning, I'll wake up and I'll kind of go through YouTube, and you're actually one of the people, I wake up and I'm like, okay, let's go see what Mr. Flex is doing, because I know you're in New Jersey too, so it kind of puts me in, where I'm at for the day for New Jersey, and I don't know how you go through so many crap orders. I think I would, literally lose my mind, so I always say, more power to you, my friend. Yes, apartment complexes are absolutely the worst. How do you stop Uber from locking the screen so I'm assuming you can look between other apps? Uber doesn't usually lock my screen, so I have an iPhone, and anybody who's familiar, I'm gonna actually, can I show it to you guys here? Can you guys see this? I'll usually go up like that, and I'll have all three of, can you guys see that? Is it too low? Hold on, let me see whether I can, is that better? Okay. So I'll have all my screens like this, and I'll have Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub, but DoorDash always has to be the front one, because if it's not, you're not going to get the alerts for some reason for DoorDash on iPhones. Alerts don't come through if you have the other two on. So DoorDash always has to have the first two on, and then usually Uber and Grubhub, and usually the alerts come up top, and that's how I usually do my screens. If you have an iPhone, I honestly, I don't know how, I don't know how Androids work. Wow, see, Joe, you taught me something new. Androids, you can zoom in on Uber Eats. Did not know that. There's a lot, I feel like there's a lot of functions that Androids have with Uber Eats that iPhones do not have. Just saying, you Android people, even though I'm a huge Apple person, so. Do you schedule every single week with Grubhub because it's night and day difference in my market, but it's hard to get blocks? I do not. I usually just toggle on and toggle off when I'm doing orders. But I do hear, I haven't tested the theory, but I do hear you do get better offers on Grubhub if you're scheduled to block. This is however, my area for Grubhub is so big, and I heard you have to have a certain acceptance rate in order to be on a block. And yeah, that's not gonna happen here. I'm not gonna go like 30, actually probably 40 minutes away in order to do an order, because that has happened with Grubhub. The other day, I think someone said they're referring from Freehold. They actually wanted me to go to Freehold to a restaurant and then pick it up and deliver. So, okay. Here I am back. Thanks, Roy, for coming back. Grubhub is always an early app. Yeah, I didn't know that. So the other day, I think it was like, I was nearing like close to 11. I think it was like a Friday or Saturday, and orders kept coming in. I'm like, okay, I always stay, as long as orders are coming in, I'll stay out until orders stop coming in. And I think it was like 10:59, and I got a message from Grubhub, we've ended your, whatever they call it, because Grubhub stops taking orders at blank time. And I'm like, oh, that's odd. I guess they're not 24 hours. So I learned that the other day. That's actually really funny. Long Island Dash. Not going to lie, doing a food delivery apps as a couple is a cheat code. That's funny. And yes, you and your wife are really good multi-appers, so more power to you as well. You guys are awesome. So shout out to your channel. Go check them out, guys. Yes, Roy, you have the power. All you do is need a good car for this job full-time and a plan on getting backup car. Yes, I am a firm believer that. So I cash out every single day, and a little bit every single day goes into savings. I call it my car fund, and it's there for repairs, brakes, brake pads, oil changes, if I need a new car, and that type of thing. So to me, it keeps building. It might not seem like a lot at first, but if it keeps building over time, I strongly suggest it. Joe, that's it. I'll have to ask him that. Joe, fun. Maybe then your husband can help you shoot the video and get really creative with angles. If only I can wish I had a camera person. Yeah, I'm my own camera person. One of these days I'll show you guys like the setup in my car. It's interesting to say the least. The things we do to get the angles that we need. I do some creative stuff. That's the only thing I can say. You can swear we're all adults, right? Yeah, I still have a 4-year-old daughter that's trying to sleep upstairs, just saying. Yes, DoorDash does need to bring up the base pay. It's probably never going to happen. We're never probably going to see that in our lifetime. So when I first started on DoorDash, I think base pay was like $5, I think it was. And then like literally in the short time I've been on DoorDash, it went like from $5 to $3 and now like $2.75. I'm like, how much further can it go? Oh, I wish it was $3. So Long Island Dash Experience. Not sure how it works in NJ, but here in New York, DoorDash base pay is still $3, but Uber Eats most orders is $2.50 base pay. Once in a while, it's at a trip supplement. Yeah, Uber Eats is definitely a smaller base pay than DoorDash, I'm going to say. However, I feel that, and to me it's a proven fact, that Uber Eats customers tend to tip a heck of a lot better than DoorDash customers tip, which I think is why Uber Eats is, I hate to say, so exclusive and why I love them so much. So if you order from Uber Eats, if you guys do know this or don't know this, I've ordered from them before. So they start their customers at 15%, like at their suggested tip, they start them at 15%, and then it goes up, it goes down to, but I think only to 10%, and then it goes up, I think, to 20 and 25%. I think those are their ranges. And then, but they automatically start you at 15% as a customer. And then in order to change it to 0, like you have to go through a couple of steps before you can change it to 0. DoorDash just makes it way too easy for, in my opinion, they make it way too easy for the customers to tip you 0. That's first thing. And second thing is they start tipping you usually at like 10%. So their tipping is lower than Uber Eats. Just food for thought. That's what scares me. I have 2 toddlers. I have to take them with me to decide to sign up for Uber Eats or DoorDash or both. I'm going to say if they're toddler enough to get out of the car and go into restaurants with you and, you know, get back into a car, it might work for you. I'm like iffy on it for you to be, I'm going to be blunt and honest. Like, I just think of me getting my daughter in and out of the car right now. She's almost 5, so she's a little bit more self-sufficient. So she knows how to get in her car seat, and I still have to help her buckle in, but at least she's a little bit more self-sufficient. Random Ryan, $4.99. Thank you so much. Much appreciated, but not necessary. Really appreciate it. But if I were going back in time and she was 3 and 4, I don't think I would be able to take her with me, just because to take her in and out of the car and then back her in the car, like to me it would be like, oh, I have anxiety kind of thinking about it, to be honest with you. But you know, if he or she is closer to being self-sufficient, I'd say it would work better. I don't know. I'm iffy on that, to be completely honest, from like mom mode perspective. Holy Mr. Flex, you shop for 91 items at CVS. So what the heck were they buying at CVS for 91 items? Well, that'll do it. I guess I would do it for $76 too, but holy, $76. Wow, that's an order for you. But 91, does CVS have 91 items to shop at for CVS? I'm just saying, like, I just can't imagine 91 items for CVS. Was it all like 15 cans of cat food? Just saying. Anyone on Corner Shop? I am not on Corner Shop. I don't think it's available in my area. I think I looked at it a couple months ago. It's not available in my area, but I think it's more available down south, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not quite positive on that, but no, I do not do Corner Shop. Oh, it opens this area in your week. I say sign up for it. What do you have to lose? Man, just started reading here again. Looks like it's going to be 3 a.m. night for me. Oh, God bless you for staying out until 3 a.m. 10 o'clock is usually, usually at 10 o'clock is my cutoff every night. Like I said, unless it's like a Friday or Saturday and the orders are coming in and they're coming in and they're coming in, and like I'm not leaving money on the table and I'll keep on going. But usually 10 o'clock is, I turn into Cinderella and I come home at 10 o'clock. I need my beauty sleep at some point, and someone's got to edit these videos. It'd be cool if you say the total miles when you accept a Grubhub order. It's cool just to know. I won't know total. I don't see total miles on my Grubhub screen, so I would have to kind of show you like the GPS, I guess, when I take it from where I'm start to the restaurant and then from the restaurant to the customer's house, in order to give you guys miles. That's usually why I don't give you guys miles on Grubhub, just because it doesn't really show it on my screen. Android, I'm telling you, you got a one up on iPhones. So, but it's supposed to happen soon, so hopefully I can give you that information. Supposedly within like a month or so, iPhone people or Apple people are supposed to, iOS people are supposed to see that information, and I will be celebrating when it does. I'll jump up and down for you guys, showing it to you. Friday, I only did DoorDash because my Uber wasn't working. Was it I know, Lisa, you were in my area Friday? Was it like my area or was it like the actual Uber app? I didn't, it's funny. I didn't have a good Uber Eats night on Friday. I wonder if it was down on my end too. Maybe you're teaching me something new. Maybe Uber was down on Friday. I didn't even realize it. No. I've done retail before. The stores I worked in always changed managers, and some I liked, some I didn't. I also got tired of the drama and gossip. Jake, that is absolutely true. So I'm not going to give you my full background, but I was in retail. I was a retail manager, store manager for 20 plus years and before I did this. So I recently, my past two jobs, I was a general manager for Lord & Taylor. It is a northeast-ish department store, or I should say was a northeast department store, and I was managing two of those locations in New Jersey. I had you guys are not going to know the areas, so I won't even tell you what the areas are, but anyway, I was managing two of the department stores, and then they recently closed all the stores, and I went to work at a very high volume Victoria's Secret store, and I was with them until they closed all the stores for the pandemic. And then right when they were going to reopen my store, my husband had a heart attack and went through bypass surgery, so I made the decision to stay home and get him back into health and through his recovery. So that's why I started gigging full time, and I haven't looked back since, and I actually get to spend time with my family. Thomas, thank you so much. Much appreciated, but not necessary. I really appreciate it. You are so motivating. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, so guys, I'm going to stay on for maybe about 5 more minutes. I'm going to try to get through as much as I possibly can, but I'm going to cut it off probably in like 5-ish minutes. Android, iPhone, same way to see your screens. Okay. Mr. Flex, you're in the Elizabeth area. I used to work at the Jersey Gardens Mall in my 20s. I was in the Jersey Gardens Mall for 9/11, but just to give you, but I know Elizabeth a little bit. Mr. Flex, holy moly, thank you so much. Much appreciated, but totally not necessary. Thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you, Mr. Flex. I am so greatly appreciated. Sorry, reading through some of these. How many miles do you average a day for the car? For me, it's anywhere between 100 and 120. Yeah, I'll say it's probably close to that. And I said this, and guys, I'll be completely honest and transparent with you guys. I track miles for tax purposes. I do not track miles daily. I don't even track miles weekly. Like, to me, they're there. My car is meant to do gig work. It's meant to drive, and and also, when I worked for retail and I was working at Lord & Taylor, I was driving like legitimately 74 miles one way I was driving close to Philly and driving 74 miles another way. So I was driving almost 150 miles per day to go to work, and I knew that going into the job that I signed up for. So to me, like, I knew what I was doing going into this job and what I signed up for. So to me, it's just part of the job. Like, it's just me and my circumstances and my situation. Like, I do not pay attention, I'll be honest, with miles. I know I get this question a lot. I use Quick and Book's self-employed app on my phone because it came free with TurboTax this year if you filed for self-employed on TurboTax, and it auto tracks your miles, and you can upload every gas receipt that you have. So since it auto tracks my miles, I don't pay attention. I'll be completely honest and transparent with you. So I'll say on an average, I do 500 to 700 miles a week, probably about an average. So that's probably about accurate. Oh, okay. Thank you, Lisa. I'll look at it on Instagram. Thank you. And that's another thing, guys. If you guys ever need, if you guys have Instagram, first of all, I'm on Instagram under Kim's Side Money Plans. But if you ever want to message me or have a question, please go onto Instagram and just message me. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have, or even just chat. Like, I'm always usually available, and I'll try to get back to you as quickly as I possibly can. So look for me on Instagram if you guys are on Instagram. Yeah, and just like comments, I answer every single one of my comments. I think that's a really big part of what I do. Like, I really want to connect with you guys on a daily basis and really have a sense of community. So I really try to get through every single comment that I possibly can, because I think it's just so super important. I want you guys to feel like you can ask me any questions and I will respond. I might not always get to you right away because I'm working, but I will get to you before the end of the day, just because I just think it's so super important. Yes, I think we've all become better tippers from doing this line of work. Food delivery is better than retail work, factory work, yes. Warehouse jobs, it's everything. Yes, I agree. I love the honesty. Thank you. I have a 3 and 4, but they climb in and out and they entertain each other. Sorry. I used to dash for, okay, random Ryan, I used to dash Instacart for fun and make a low 6 figures in my job. I honestly prefer dashing and gig work. Sad but true. Definitely looking to transition to another chapter in my life. Hey, more power to you. I'll be completely honest, I find it super fun. I love doing this every single day. I'm passionate about what I do every single day, but it is a grind. Every day is not the same, which is actually why I like it. I'm not a creature of habit. I like change. So, but just be prepared that, you know, you might work longer hours because you don't have your goal in. Like, there are times where I don't have my goal in at 10 o'clock and I keep going because I'm not going to go home until I have my $200 in. So it's just just be prepared that it's a grind. It's fun, but to me it's a grind, but I love doing it and I'm super passionate about it. So I wish you much luck if you decide to go ahead and do it. Okay, Michael Krieger. I was on Uber Eats all weekend. Got $2 5 mile orders. Even almost got a $22 order for 2 miles. Nice. But then had an error and didn't get it. Oh, that's the worst. DoorDash was below $1 most of the weekend. Oh, that is honestly, like, Uber Eats does that like a lot. Like, you get like a good order and like you go to hit it and like sometimes like it goes error, something happened, you're like, darn it, it was a really good order. But oh, it's frustrating when that happens. Bye, Gig Cleveland, if you're still watching, if you signed off. Am I the only one? William Anderson, am I the only ones that was a delivery driver before this pandemic? I started right before, well, a couple months before the pandemic hit. I'll be honest, I did not work during like the height of the pandemic when everything was closed, and then I think I maybe took 2 or 3 months off, and then I started back up again. Hi, Darren. Do you make more money now than your full-time job? It's probably about the same, I'll be honest. It's probably about equal. Only thing is, I will say, the one thing I love about this is I cash out, like, you get paycheck every single day. Like, in a regular W-2 job, like, you have to, like, if you're, like, every 2 weeks, or even if you get paid on the 15th and the 30th of the month, like, you literally can get paid every single day. If you have a bill to pay, well, I guess I'm going to go out and go to work, and I can come home and pay that bill at the end of every day. I love that aspect of it. I love getting paid I love seeing money. That's the greed in me. I love seeing money. I love getting paid every day. That's actually one of like the things that I love to do. Did good with Uber Eats class in Bridgewater last night. That's great, Anthony. I wish I can say the same, but not so much. Bye, Sandra's got game. Me, Lisa. Thank you so much, Kim. I love that you found your channel the other day. It helps my worries in what to expect. Oh, I'm so glad I'm able to help you out. And that's my goal. My goal is to help you guys make money and be hopefully a source of motivation and inspiration for you guys. Like that's literally my goal and my key in doing all of this. And I started saying if I can do it, anybody can do it. It doesn't mean monetary value. Like I truly believe if I can go out there and literally take orders and really figure out the multi-apping strategy, like I really think that anybody can get the same principles and strategies and apply it to any area that you work in. Yes, our areas might be different, and yes, they might be a vast difference, but the principles to me are the same. And that's why I always say if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I'm just going out there and I'm just taking orders, I'm hustling. That's what I do for a living. Okay, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up. I'm gonna try to get through as many more. Hold on. Happy birthday, Monroe. I didn't even see that. Okay, sorry, just trying to get through as many as I possibly can. What do you think of car prices? I have absolutely no clue about car prices, to be completely. I am so not a car person. I am putting tons of miles on my 1-year-old car, and I'm afraid of it not lasting that long. I hate to say it's the nature of our business, but it's the nature of our business. You're going to put miles on your car. It's, unfortunately what you signed up for doing Uber Eats and DoorDash, but have a plan. So I always say, have a plan in place. Put money to aside every single day that you dash. That's why I'm a firm believer in putting money and cashing out. I cash out every single day because I divvy my money out every single day. Like I put a little money in my Robinhood account. I put money away for taxes, and I also have like a car account that I put money away from. So when things go bad, like you're like, that's one less worry that you have to worry about. How to dash at night, and what would make it easier to see new glasses? No, I'm just kidding. No, I used to work at night, so to me it was an easy transition from working nights in retail. But as far as seeing, I have a little flashlight on my keychain, so I actually get to see walkways. It's an LED flashlight. Love it. But that's how I usually see it at night. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. So everybody, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I had so much fun. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun too. Everybody. Also, I'm going to try to do this more often for you guys. Like I said, I had a lot of fun tonight. Hopefully I'm getting better as I'm doing these lives. I really thought that I was horrible at them before, so hopefully I'm getting better, and you guys are going to see a lot more live streams from me. So guys, everybody have a good night. Have a good week. Go make some money. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Remember, kindness is always free, guys. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.